Hello again. One of my friends sent me a rather interesting little piece of information, and this is written by a A-10 pilot. And he wrote, "The squadron is doing fine. Everyone is happy to be here, and we're doing some good work. The A-10s are holding up well, and the technology we have on the jets now, targeting pods, GPS-guided bombs, laser-guided missiles, tactical data links, satellite comms, and of course the gun, makes the A-10 ideal for this conflict. We are killing off as many ISIS as we can, mostly in ones and twos. Working with the hand we are dealt. I've never been more convinced in my career that we're facing an enemy that needs to be eradicated. With that being said, I've never been more frustrated in my career. After 13 years of this mind-numbing low-intensity conflict in Afghanistan, I've never seen the knife more dull. All the hard lessons learned in Vietnam and fixed during the first Gulf War have been unlearned again. The level of centralized execution, bureaucracy, and politics is staggering. I basically do not have any decision-making authority in my cockpit. It sucks. In most cases, unless a general officer can look at the video picture from my UAV over a satellite link, I cannot get authority to engage. I've spent many hours staring through a targeting pod screen in my own cockpit, watching ISIS shitheads perpetrate their acts until my eyes bleed without being able to do anything about it. The institutional fear of making a mistake that has crept into the central mindset of the military leadership is endemic. We have not taken the flight to these guys. We haven't targeted their centers of gravity in Raqqa. All the roads between Syria and Iraq are still intact, with trucks flowing freely. The other night, I watched a couple of hundred small tanker trucks lined up in an oil field in ISIS-held northeast Syria, presumably filling up with oil traded on the black market, go unfeathered. It is not uncommon to wait several hours overhead, a suspected target for someone to make a decision to engage or not. It feels like we are simply using the constructs built up in Afghanistan, which was a very limited fight, in the same way here against ISIS, which is much more sophisticated and numerically greater foe. It's embarrassing. Be assured that the hog drivers are doing their best." What did you get out of that? Well, if you've been viewing me, you know that I've made this comment quite often. Whenever we see videos of the military, our military, attacking ISIS insurgents, what do we see? We see a single truck being obliterated by a $200,000 or $300,000 bomb. That's what we see. If this administration were serious, then the A-10 pilots wouldn't have to wait until a general that's viewing what they're viewing makes a determination as to whether or not they can engage. The enemy is the enemy, and the pilots should not be sitting in their cockpits waiting for some bureaucrat to decide as to whether or not they can engage. It's totally insane. If this administration wanted to obliterate ISIS, they could do it in a week. But they don't want to do it for a whole lot of obvious reasons. In either case, it must be very frustrating for our military to be in the field of conflict, the field of battle, where they can easily and quickly lose their lives, and be dictated to and controlled by a bureaucracy that is totally clueless? How can you have a commander-in-chief that doesn't even know how to shoot a BB gun? Ask yourself that question. Then you'll get an idea as to the level of frustration that those in our military that have not turned against the American people must feel. Ask yourself that question.